Morning, afternoon, or evening. This is a war selection match, my first since the 10th of October update. So yeah, there's going to be some planes, AA guns, and so on. Please enjoy. As you can see, I was going to go Russia, so I went medieval, light knights, rush. I'm getting my barracks up, my stables up, sorry. Here you can see those knights in action. I just ran past most of the spearmen since they cannot ever catch up with me. So just trying to get rid of his military buildings, but he doesn't really have much of a defense, so in the end I get to destroy almost everything in that base. As you can see now. His workers, nice target for my knights. Here I split them off into two groups, one to deal with buildings, one to deal with his units. And I'm micromanaging my units so they do damage but don't take damage themselves. But yeah, I get rid of that tower because it's the only thing really doing damage to me at this point. There you go. Tower's down. I send my knights in to get rid of the last few military buildings and his workers. Obviously I still haven't noticed that there's a forge there I need to get rid of, because he can build towers still. But he luckily doesn't. Still micromanaging my base a bit. Getting my woodworkers on. I really want a strong wood economy so I don't have to worry about it, because I can never get a good wood economy going. I'm just getting rid of that last military building I missed. Barracks, just so we can't get more spearmen. And that's the army of spearmen I ran straight past before I was talking about. I think I do kill it now. Oh no, I just keep running from it. Takes forever for it to get anywhere, so... There we go, I noticed a forge. Get rid of the forge so they can't build more towers. There we go. Just a couple barracks. Try to encircle them so all my light knights do damage, so they take a minimum from the spearmen that are catching up. Here I just kill those few spearmen. With my workers, I'm moving my towers up to try get a bit of a foothold in the front lines of towers and vision. Just for later game when I can have my supply routes clean of animals. Yeah. So he's got nothing really left to damage me. So I'm just getting rid of his last barracks so he can't produce any more spearmen or archers or whatever. And I start going for his tower. But his food workers on the other side start trying to repair it, so I need to get rid of them first. Just checking if there's any gaps in my defences there with that worker. And we start with four. There we go. This is straight after I finished. I pushed my light knights with some reinforcements, but they got met on their little choke point by some Ashigaru, I think they are, or pikes, I can't actually tell. But yeah, that's the reinforcements arriving just now. So I try to encircle them and demolish them, because even spearmen doesn't really stand a chance against light knights. It's really the only the Morgstones, or Morgsteins, however the hell you say it. They're the only real worry for me in that group of soldiers there. Here my workers have finished the iron, and I'm moving onto a new source. I was going to block it up, but then I realised I'm going to IR, so I'll have a mine there soon anyway. Getting rid of the last few of his pikes there. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm only really worried about the Morgstones, like that one there, because they do AoE damage in front of them. And my units blob up quite a lot. But he's dead. Got one hit off before he died. And at this point I know my soldiers are a bit battered, so I'm just going to try and get rid of as many standalone buildings and economy damage as I can get done. So I just run past these spearmen. They get like 2 or 3 hits off, but nothing too big. I realise I'm running out of food, so I pull a few workers off of wood. I think 6 there. Not much, but maybe enough to push my food economy up because I've got lots of wood. my iron's dropping as well. But like I said, I have 2 strong wood now. Normally I have too little, now I have 2 strong. But yeah, I see this guy's medieval, so he's probably got lots of towers, I'm thinking. Turns out he's only got that 1. So I kill his food workers. And get rid of this forge, so there's any other workers can't build the towers. Get rid of the tower, last only really thing damaging me. It's pretty much the same as I was doing before. Here I just went up to IR, and I've got so much wood, I'm upgrading all my houses and stuff like that up straight away. Well, my iron is dwindling and my food is quite low. So, I'm going to start moving my woodworkers onto stone. Which will mean I'll have a much more securable source of stone. Material, as it's called in the game. Because if you're working on stone, you don't have to keep spending resources on warehouses as the tree line moves further and further away. But yeah, I'm just checking up on my allies, what they're doing. This German player goes for a wonder. He's not really making much of an army. He makes a small army. I get university, but I completely forget about it and don't really end up using it until IR2. Obviously there's an animal attacking my ironworkers, because, you know, it wouldn't be war selection without some animals bullying my workers. At this point I see they've brought in some light cannons to defend with, so I tried to get some friendly fire damage, but they all die. This is a bit further on once I've got myself settled into IR. My economy is stronger now, and I try to set up a forward base with just training camps to get rid of the last person alive, which is the person with the light cannons from before. So he starts pushing forwards, so I get my partisans to give some vision for the cannon towers that Red's built as Western Asia. They're very powerful, and these, you know, light cannons are all blobbed up, but they just got too much firepower and I can't give them good vision. So I'd run back and forth to try and survive as long as I can, because cannon towers still have vision. At this point I see that my forward base is going to get destroyed, so I go a bit further back, hoping that the cannon towers are going to hold up. I obviously underestimated them here. I try and get maybe a death scythe out, because I'll be really powerful against that massive blob. I try stalling with soldiers, so the cannon towers can get some damage out at least, maybe throw a grenade or something. Any damage I can pick up at all is what I'm trying to do here. But he goes for my forward base, started with it anyway. So I decide that if he's not going to have any anti-air defenses while he's moving up, I'm going to start making some military bomb balloons. But I tried to get them out this way, but he pushes forward very much. And then quickly, actually. He's got quite a lot of light cannons there, so we lose red, blue and yellow in that push. But they were mostly still below IR. At this point I've got some bombers, light bombers, and yeah. And they're in a choke point, and I've got tons of bombers, dropping bombs constantly on them. I still never used light bombers yet, so I'm still getting used to how their attacks work. You have to actually click, you can't give them an attack command. You can't give them an attack on, like, point. Their biggest problem is definitely with their fuel. They're great because they've got decent damage bombs, they're fast, and they're hard to hit, but they just run out of fuel very quickly. That's why heavy bombers are much better. As you can see, the German players setting up on this little hill here, some pillboxes, and he does eventually build a cannon colossal there to try and snipe his enemy's base, but we don't really get good vision on his base. But yeah, he keeps sending light cannons by the millions at this point. So I keep trying to counter. I start going up to IR2 because my economy's risen a bit. Not great, but I think I can go up to IR2 at this point. I've also got some factories up there by my base, which are going to be my main training places, because I wasn't sure how far the light cannons were going to push. At this point I'm just pushing them out of the area, the light cannons. Just kept trying to get rid of them, keep them away. Because these walls here are quite good against just blocking. You'd have to fire at them, which will give us an ally attacked notification, which will then mean we know he's coming. At this point I try to go around the left side of the map to try to get to his town hall or some farms or something and just snipe it. Here I'm almost IR2, and I did take forever to get there. He's already at Wonder. My iron and food is really low again, and my wood is really high. I might have overdone the wood this time. He gets some fighter planes, which is really cool. They're not great, but they're okay. Perfect for doing what he was wanting to do, without having to set up tons of AA. But yeah, he's got them. I've got something similar in my base. I've just got 2 normal light bombers, just in case he pushes forward with light cannons. I can just quickly try to get as many kills off before he pushes too close to my base. It's like a little home defense force, but he has a much bigger and more effective one. I've also got these 5 light bombers, where we're setting up all the pillboxes and messing our troops up for a final push. So I try to use these light bombers to scout and just do general damage and chaos. Make him move his units back and forth around and about. I've got a few death sides up, but my economy's still recovering from going to IR2. Yeah, I've lost 2 balloons now. I'm getting close, so I'm thinking I could do maybe half damage on his town hall or something, so I was going to change my target to some military buildings. But he comes back with the light bombers. I thought they were going to go refuel, light fighters, sorry. But I thought they were going to go refuel, but they weren't. I keep setting up more mines, and my iron economy starts going back up slowly, and my food economy is going back up as I move more workers off of wood. Pink, who owns most of the map at this point, is eating through resources, because he's just starting to set up his military, getting APCs and heavy bombers, which are stationed at his base. But yeah, I see the training buildings there for Zamburaks, which is probably going to spam, and I start getting rid of them. I don't think he knows what country I've gone yet, because if he did, I don't think he would have been spamming Zamburaks, because death sides are amazing at killing infantry, and the low health pool Zamburaks. But yeah, he set up some AA guns, which are extremely powerful, so my bombers get to do a little bit of damage, waste a few resources, but not really much, except from getting to see how defended his town hall is. And it's not that defended, it's just quite constrictive, so you can't get your units in and maneuver them. They're all quite clumped up, which is what he wants with Zamburaks and light cannons. But yeah, I lost that little squadron of bombers to AA defences. I didn't even notice, I was too busy here. But these guys die, and I'm going to skip to the final push. At this point I've got 20 death sides. He's pushing with APCs and tank mouses. I've started making rocket launchers just in case this attack doesn't work out, as his base is quite tight and packed. So they'll be quite good against that, and we start pushing forward with the death sides and whatnot. I've got some AA guns at my base, just in case. and I start pushing with the German player. He gets his squadron of heavy bombers, his cannon colossal, and all his pillboxes upgraded to AA or heavy pillboxes. My iron economy is still struggling at this point, but his heavy bombers are going to go and cause as much chaos to his light cannons as possible. His APCs are mostly just scouting, and my death sides are going to be the biggest damage dealers. But yeah, the APCs are, there you go, drawing his fire, seeing as they've got quite a lot of health. Bombers are going to start bombing with Zamborax. They're quite effective because the Zamborax are in a bit of a choke point there. Surprised they didn't defend that much better. And again, he was on the offensive all game, so there we go, we're at his town hall, and he's doing tons of friendly fire damage to his buildings, which is perfect. We've lost almost all of the bombers squadron, and they've just run out of fuel, so they're heading back. They were more just to cause chaos than anything. The Zamborax are still firing at the APCs. Almost all the APCs are down at this point. I get my economy back up. My iron's doing quite well, food's doing really well, and wood is through the roof. His mouse tanks are going to go to the left here, to that little military base he got set up, and just draw the Zamborax that way, where he's got vision, so you'll see them. I'm going to pull my death sides around to his town hall to do a two-pronged attack, which you won't be able to defend too effectively against. So yeah, I go into the open clear area so I can spread out, so his Zamborax don't get me, and if he's got any bombers. But yeah, his heavy bombers have to travel a very long distance. But then again, it's safer for them. They get a few bombs off and then get out, instead of having the chance of being attacked really quickly. Because if he built his airfields closer to the front line, could very easily get destroyed. As you can see, most of his mouse tanks are down, and his Zamborax are coming closer towards me. But I start going on his towers, so I can push forward, and his Zamborax appear any second now. There they are. But it's beautiful, his death size is ridiculous. I think they do get through, but they're not. Death Side's got quite a lot of health and armor, which means that Zamborax aerial effect rockets aren't that effective. But yeah, I keep one Death Scythe behind to deal with them, and the others to just destroy everything. As you can see, that one Death Scythe is just finishing off the few Zamborax. I'm still pushing forward. At this point, he's lost almost all of his army, and he doesn't really have any time to set up a second. The last few Zamborax are in a push, but they all get destroyed in a cloud of shrapnel. I got rid of his arsenal so he can't see the towers, and thank you everyone for watching. This was War Selection, and enjoy the rest of the day.